Hi guys, and welcome to the Rule of Two, where the Star Wars news saga continues. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And joining us today is our frequent guest and Star Wars super fan, Art Cherries.
Honorary fourth member of the Goods.
Honorary fourth member of the Goods.
That's what it'll be, right?
Yeah. And well, Chris fifth, I guess. How many members of it?
Chris is 4.5.
The 0.5 is Marcellus.
Chris is 4.25.
Chris, we love you anyway. All right. So, big reveal, title reveal for episode 8.
Right.
Now, we've been waiting for this for the longest times, and there were kind of like a mock titles that were thrown out earlier, actually mid last year, right?
All garbage.
It was garbage, yeah. Tales from the Jedi Temple and Echoes of the Dark Side were the two main ones that they were talking about. I really thought Echoes of the Dark Side was
That one was cool.
Awesome title. But you thought that it was going to mirror Empire too much, so it was like...
That's what we need to talk about with this particular title, because, I mean, it reveals so much in what it's being named. So, obviously, we know what the title is. It's called The Last Jedi, which I argue is The Last Jedi singular or plural?
Because it can be both.
Yeah. I mean, because there's no Jedis. There's
only Jedi.
There's only Jedi. So, what do you guys think about the actual title? Starting with you, Art.
It's ambiguous. You have no idea, right?
Right.
So, I don't want to read too much into it. If it was the first movies, you know, where the titles actually made sense, but you know, I don't know what. I don't want to get my hopes up anymore after The Force Awakens.
Well, the Force Awakens, I'm glad you brought that up. The Force Awakens actually has the word crawl, and in the word crawl, it says Luke Skywalker, the Last Jedi. So, are they calling...
Wait! What do you think about the title first?
Oh, what I think about the title? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm kind of like on the fence with it. I think I'm gonna keep it to myself right now because I don't know.
We're doing a show.
I don't
talking
know
about what we think about the title.
Aspen?
Okay, I learned that Jedi is actually the word Jedi is also plural for one Jedi. So technically,
that's what we said earlier.
That was what
I mean, we literally just said that.
yes.
Wow! This shows how much I listen.
And that's our director, people.
That's our director. She tells us what to do. Hey, we're the number one Star Wars show is on YouTube.
Alright, continue.
Alright. The title's okay. You know what? It's okay. Depending on what the movie's gonna be and what it's gonna revolve around, that's why I'm holding, kind of like reservations on the opinions, because I don't know exactly what the movie is. When I see at least the first trailer, then maybe I'll get a little bit of a piece of it, of what more or less it's going to be about. But like I said before, in the word crawl in The Force Awakens, it said that Luke Skywalker was the last Jedi. Will he be the last Jedi, or are him and Rey the last Jedi?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because that was my next question. It was like, what does the last Jedi mean? You mentioned in the word crawl that it does say the last Jedi. But we already know from the last movie, from The Force Awakens, the one that Art loves so much, that he is now going to be training Rey to be a Jedi, basically. So does that make him the last Jedi, or does that make her the last Jedi? Or are we doing the singular and plural thing, and they're both the last Jedi? So what do you guys, Art, what do you think it is?
Well, I want to hope and say that...
A New Hope?
A New Hope. I have a new hope. So... I was really a big nerd when it came to the expanded universe, but all that was thrown out the window. When
all that wasted time.
All that all those books I read, all the late fees from the public library.
You know what? I don't care what they say. They're still borrowing from that thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, but in the expanded universe, he said that he was the last of the old and the first of the new. Right?
Okay.
So I'm hoping maybe they're lending something from that as well.
That would be cool.
That he's perhaps the last Jedi of the old Jedi trained in the old ways, and now there's going to be new Jedi trained in the new ways. So I don't know if that makes even sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
As a matter of fact, my thought with it is that, looking at what you had already said, is that maybe they get rid of Luke. Maybe this is it.
This could be.
Maybe it's the last Jedi because he's dying before she even becomes a Jedi.
Well, Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker will be in Episode 9.
Dang it, you threw my theory away.
I don't think.
Why'd you let me go on?
I don't think.
Come back as
Spirit Ghost.
I don't think it'll be a Force Ghost. I really don't. I don't think it'll be a Force Ghost, but I do think that that he will survive. I think that he possibly barely survive.
He can hang out with Han and Yoda.
That's jacked up.
Qui-Gon was the first, remember.
All right. So if you look at the reveal of the title, the letters are in red.
Right.
The Star Wars letters are in red. The last time that they were in red was Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Before that, it was Revenge of the Jedi. Remember that? I think it was, or Return of the Jedi was in red too. I think, wasn't it?
No.
Oh no. Was it Empire?
No.
Not even Empire, right?
Not even Empire.
One of those was red. I can't remember which one.
I think when they were talking about different titles and what titles was going to be, maybe with the Revenge
of the Jedi
from the
I think I don't know
original.
right.
What the
From
original?
I think it was red, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, red is always Sith. Red is the Sith. So, are we looking at a potential turn of Rey to the dark side?
But she barely got to the good side, man. The light side, man.
But she didn't- but-
it's like I just put my toe in the light side and I'm already dark now.
But
Once
if
you go black,
But if you ever look,
once you go dark,
if you ever look at her fighting style and how she, there is no hesitation when she kills, the troopers on the moon or wherever, on the planet that she's on with Mos Kanata. There's no real, hesitation there, and she looks like she can grasp both sides of the Force.
Well, that's because she grew up on her own.
Okay.
It was she just grew up in an environment where she had to learn to fend for herself. She didn't have family. She didn't have anybody she can count on. So, but you see her, and everything that she wanted to do was the right thing. So I think maybe it's not reading too much into it. That's why I don't want to get my hopes up.
But he does.
I build myself up, and then there's nothing. It doesn't follow through.
But doesn't Luke just look at her like, damn it, I thought I got ready.
It was a really creepy stare.
It's kind of a fear. It looked like a fear, like
hey, I put you away so that way you don't become what I think you're going to become.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay. Right.
exactly.
I get that. I guess one last thing while we're still talking about the title, and I guess maybe this kind of dabbles into our normal segment of fan theories, is that when the title was actually put out there on Twitter, there was a mention in there where it said that this was the continuing of the Skywalker saga. Is that a little nudge or a little poke to say that since we're supposed to basically kind of find out Rey's lineage in Episode 8, that we're saying that as the Last Jedi, we're having Rey being trained, that she is confirmation being a Skywalker?
I'll you take that one first, Art.
Because I have a little fan theory that's out there right now.
So,
if you've seen it on YouTube. Go ahead.
That's old though.
I know, right?
I would like to believe that Rey is not a Skywalker. And there's a theory. Because
There's about 100.
The theory is that, just because it's the story, the lineage of Skywalker, right? That's the whole Star Wars story. Don't forget, Kylo is
a Skywalker.
Is a Skywalker. So the story doesn't necessarily mean that the
So is Leia.
Yeah,
so is Luke.
because when it was Anakin, he turned to the dark side. There wasn't anybody there to offset,
Right.
balance. It was just the story of where he evolved.
Right.
Maybe it could pick up. I'm hoping. Disney.
I figured I would bring it up because we always talk about it. We've been back and forth.
What is your theory?
Well, I don't have a specific theory. That was the theory, is that when people saw that post out there where it said continuing the saga of the Skywalker saga, I wasn't really thinking about Kylo Ren, but everybody else who kind of fed in onto it, and me included, was like, are they kind of giving us a little bit of bait and saying like, hey, she's a Skywalker. She's a Skywalker.
I think she's gonna be a Skywalker.
I think it's too easy.
Yeah.
I really think that's too easy. for some reason, and I read this today actually, and it was pretty interesting, and that's that Snoke is Plagueis, and Plagueis created Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was also supposed to be
and
Sidious who created him too.
And she is not. She's either the reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker, or she is an entire new creation.
How do you get a reincarnation of somebody who had kids?
A force. She is a force. She is a force creation. She is a creator created
like
from
his
the force,
energy
like the way Anakin
transferred
was.
himself from his force ghost into her living body.
No. I'm saying that either she is a reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker, or she was created by Snoke or by Plagueis the exact same way that Anakin was.
The whole thing was like, okay,
to find the balance between light and dark, because Snoke is fascinated by the light and the dark, or Plagueis is one of those. So that is why Luke, like you said, knows what she's capable of, and doesn't really trust it anymore.
So
I can see that.
Yeah, so
I'd see that. I don't think Disney is or the writers were that.
They didn't think that much into it.
That's more hopes and wishes, right?
So what you're saying is that Rey is Jesus.
Well, Anakin was Jesus.
Anakin was Jesus. Anakin was Jesus.
No, well, not really, because he fell to the dark side. Jesus wouldn't fall. Forget it. All right.
Hey, you know what? There's the last temptation of Christ, and they talk about him going through sin. So, but let's not go in it.
That's not good. All right. So, do you honestly think that that this is it for Luke, or let's hope?
I mean,
let's new hope that he makes it through.
New hope that he makes it through. I mean, a lot of people will be upset if he doesn't make it through, but hey, we always have the Force Ghost thing too. But I don't think he needs to be that integral to the actual story anymore. I think they've already set up the new younger characters, and we should just move on forward with that. We already have to deal with the fact that Carrie Fisher won't be there. I mean, unless they go and do the digital
They're
face
not going
thing.
to. They decided not to.
Yeah, so I mean, she's not going to be there. They're going to have to write her out of the story. Harrison Ford's not going to be there anymore.
He might come back as flashback.
Harrison Ford's not going to be there anymore, so we might as well just go on and
changing to the guards.
Exactly. We might as well just go on and get Luke out too.
I agree. I would like to see an entirely new cast take over.
I was gonna say I didn't need them to come. I needed them to come back as cameos. I didn't need them to come back with full roles. So I'm okay if they move.
I would have been okay with just references.
Yeah. Hey, remember that guy named Luke Skywalker?
No, I think how they did it was. I wish I would have seen a little bit more of Luke in the Force Awakens, but
it was meant for a teaser. Obviously, everyone's
He's like, I got paid millions of dollars just to look.
Not even one.
What was it? The easiest money he made. Mark Hamill made. All right.
So that pretty much covers everything that we have on the title. We normally do a longer rule or two, but we wanted to do this one since the news had come out. We want to get it out to you a little bit faster than we normally do. And we had Art, our resident, Star Wars know-it-all, Mr. Know-it-all. So we figured we'd get him in here to at least talk with us about the title, because we've been back and forth with it through text. So want to get out there and talk with you guys about it. So as always, or wait, I don't get to do this part. You can do this part.
No, actually you do, because I did the entrance.
All right, well, whatever.
And you're
as always, we want you guys to get out there and like and comment on the video. Let us know any new fan theories, because we love talking about them on the show, as well as any thoughts that you guys have with the Star Wars title that's been released. If you want to back up my Rey theory, it's her as Jesus, just right below the comment. But also make sure you subscribe so that way you know about other videos that we have out, that especially we're doing a lot more stuff this year.
We just want to give our hearts and prayers and for our good buddy Marcellus Cole, the Geek Father from the Blurred Nerds. He's in the hospital right now, and we wish him well, and hope we can get him on the couch in more ways than one. No,
whoa, that's how you're on the spot on this show.
Love you, Marcellus. Whoa. For Aspen in the back, and Art, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
May the Force be with you.
Don't you understand?
Yes, I have this point I have to make.
You can't talk with your hands. How about actually put it on Terrence?
And my guns?
Well, because you don't talk with your hands.
That's all I do is talk with my hands.
My name is Terrence, and I do talk with my hands.
What is, man, so much hostility.
What did you take today?
Jeez, man.